Well, you know what? We are fresh out of sleeping pods here at WLTX. So as a way to recharge, we invited Chef Keith Campbell from Raid My Pantry here to talk about superfoods. You know, I'm one of those people, work late, I get up early with Brady, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
And caffeine isn't always the answer. What are some superfoods that can give us energy?
Cool thing about this one, we do this in our home meal delivery a lot. This one's totally vegan, gluten-free. If you don't have to worry about gluten, you can of course use regular flour and stuff.
Which, by the way, it's meatloaf. We're making meatloaf. How we're making meatless meatloaf,
Yeah.
I'm unsure.
So the nice thing is this is one of those things, kind of one bowl done, throw it in the oven.
Okay.
It's good for a few days. So if you're busy late at night, pop it in the oven, done. Next day you can have it again.
See, I love a meal like that.
Yep. So basically we're going to start with a can of black beans. They're drained. If you don't like black beans, you can use any other.
But you said it's best to food process them.
Yeah, I didn't bring the processor because it's loud and bulky.
On TV, yeah.
So the other thing is you can use your hands.
Oh, this is kind of fun. Look, can we get a...
Especially if you're mad.
It's fun.
You can just kind of mash them up. So some pre-cooked rice, about a cup of that. Any kind of rice will do. This is a saffron rice that we use.
You're so fancy.
And then we have some carrots, onions, peppers that have just been sauteed real quick, and those kind of go in.
And that's just adding them to sneak veggies in on our kids,
Veggies and flavor.
Okay.
So, of course, we got to have some garlic.
Oh,
Nothing's good
yeah.
without garlic. And depending on, again, if you are gluten intolerant, you can use a rice flour, which is what this is.
And what's the flour good for? Is this going to help it stick it together?
It's the binder. You know,
Okay.
if you've ever made a regular meatloaf, it's usually eggs and flour and all that kind of stuff, and some tomato paste. We're going to put that in.
Is the tomato paste just for flavor as well?
Yes,
Okay.
and a little bit of the glue and falafel balls. If you haven't had these, they
love
sell
falafel.
these already made too.
Where?
I've seen them at Whole Foods and Trader Joe's.
Are they frozen, or
No,
where do you
they're in
find
there
them?
fresh, like by the tofu.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to put a few of those in and just mash them up.
I love falafel. Okay.
Yep. And last but not least, we're going to do a little bit of lentil, which is already cooked as well.
So, I mean, I basically feel like you've put every superfood in the world in this. What should I hold this up to, Chris? Talking to my cameraman. Hold it this way? That way. Okay. Look, here's what this looks like.
Yep.
Since we're not doing a food processor, since you might not own one, and we found them loud, I'm actually just having a really good time mushing this up like Play-Doh in between my hands.
Your kids, too, can get involved in the kitchen and kind of do this up.
All right, we have about a minute left. Tell me what happens to our mixture now.
So all of that gets kind of incorporated really well. Then you're going to form it into the meatloaf.
Okay.
And then it's going to go into a sprayed pan like this.
You want me to put it in there?
Sure, go ahead. And then we're going to bake that off for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
350. And
But
it's
really,
done.
everything's kind of cooked, so you're just kind of...
Just getting everything
Getting
hot,
it together.
incorporated. That's the beauty about this. You don't have to worry about the meat. So I like kind of doing these in a bowl. We've got some sweet mashed potatoes. Those, and I have that recipe if anybody wants it, by the way, which is bourbon and maple syrup and some other goodies.
In your smashed potatoes.
Heck yeah.
Yum.
So, and then this is a little bit of our meatloaf, and then I did a habanero vegetable.
Looks amazing. All right, and look at this. This is what we made. It really does look like a meatloaf, and after you cook this up, I bet you could slice this, stick it on your kid's plate, and they might not even know that they're not having...
I seriously doubt they'll tell the difference. My daughter's had this, and she doesn't know. She probably does now, but didn't before.
I hope she's... Is she watching?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So if you want it crispy, which is what we did here, this is day 2. You just fry it in a pan, and honestly, it's got the texture of meat. It's got the flavor of meat.
It really does. Dana just told me to show it to the camera, but I'm having so much fun eating it, Dana, I almost don't want to show it to the camera.
It's pretty tasty.
Just tilt it. Okay. That is amazing. What was the sauce you put on it?
So this is a vegetable gravy, and then we steeped a habanero pepper in it, just to give it a little bit of heat.
All right, you have outdone yourself on this one.
Awesome.
Meatless meatloaf. Who knew?